Do you feel like you have 47 tabs open in your brain at all times? Then this video might be for you. I did a 24-hour phone detox where I stopped using it for entertainment purposes. It wasn't completely off. It wasn't in airplane mode. I didn't throw it out the window, but there was no mindless scrolling. And honestly, what surprised me wasn't that I was more productive, because I was, and I kind of thought I might be, but it was how it made me feel. I did this because I wanted to see what would happen if I stopped letting my phone decide what I wanted to pay attention to. Hi friends, welcome in or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Kay. I am a wife, a mom to two, accountability coach, and a photographer. I have a lot going on, and I'm also in my softest season yet. And if you're facing overwhelm, I am currently doing these small shift experiments on this channel where I am shifting one small thing in my life to see if it helps with the overwhelm, the burnout, and just feeling overstimulated. And I am trying all of them so that you can pick and choose what works best with your life and maybe able to help you on your journey to a softer season too. I'm so glad you're here. So let's get into the 24-hour phone detox. So what were the rules? Because there are always rules with things like this. I did not turn it off and I did not turn it on airplane mode because my rule was that I was able to be reachable by texting or calling. I do have two young kids. I chose to do this on a day that I have a babysitter because I truly only have her for 4 hours once a week. And that is my time, like right now, to get things done. I wanted to see if I could be the most productive possible, not using my phone on that day. But also, occasionally she needs to send me a text or something happens with the kids or she has a question about, if there are chicken nuggets for lunch. And so I wanted to be reachable. So I was able to use my phone for utilitarian purposes. It wasn't that I could never touch it for 24 hours. It was that when I did, I was being very intentional about why. So I did end up using it for the GPS. I used it for my workout app. I used it to call my husband once, and I used it for client calls. And I also set the rule that in the morning when I woke up, I was allowed to answer any text messages that had come in overnight or in the early morning hours. Once I answered those, then I was no longer just constantly picking up my phone to reply to text messages. So that meant that there was going to be no Instagram scrolling, no TikToks, no scrolling through my email inbox, which is never at zero, no pulling it up when I'm bored and just finding YouTube videos to play in the background, no filling that empty space. I really wanted to be more intentional about no mindless checking, just picking up my phone, seeing what notifications are there and getting sucked into a rabbit hole because I decided to click on one notification. My goal truly wasn't perfection. It was this intention. I knew I would be pulled to pick it up, but I wanted to try my best to only use my phone for things that I truly needed in the day. Good morning. It is 9:45. The babysitter is here. I technically already started my day. I did my check-in on my phone with any text messages that need to be answered. My mother-in-law, my mother, my husband, and both my sisters, as well as my sister-in-law, had sent me a message. So I responded to all of those. And now I do have a busy day ahead. And it seems like the perfect day to be detoxing from my phone. But the thing is, I have to hop on a call with Bank of America right now. And then at 2 p.m., I have a client call for 10 minutes. So I will be using my phone. Aside from that, I have to film a video. I have to put away laundry back there. I have to work on my website. I have to do a workout. Oh, I do have to respond to 2 emails. I'm going to do that on my computer. So basically, I have a full day of lots to do, and most of it can be done on my computer, aside from the 2 phone calls I have to make. But the whole point of my detoxing from my phone for 24 hours is I am not using my phone for entertainment, and none of those things are entertaining. So here we are. we're starting strong. Since the babysitter is here, my phone will be next to me in case she texts me about something regarding the kids' lunch or something like that. But I only have her till 1:30, so it is time to get started. I will check in later. I will let you know when I feel tempted to use my phone, or what I do, and if I do. Let's see how this day goes. So honestly, I thought that I would reach for my phone more than I did. I thought I'd be sitting here at my desk, and as something was happening on my computer, something was rendering, I was waiting in between task items, that I would go to pull it out of my drawer. But I didn't. I felt calmer. I felt happy to sit in the boredom. Just the knowledge that I was doing this detox was almost enough to make it feel okay that I was potentially missing out on things. Update 1. I did not have to call the bank because I logged in on desktop and the thing that I was going to call about was working. So that's great. I filmed my video already. I'm working on editing it. And I just caught myself about to answer and go on Instagram to answer a message from my sister-in-law because I had to pull up my phone to use WhatsApp to contact a client about a call we are doing next week. But stop myself, remind myself that today is not a social media day, and I successfully turned it off without replying. So I'm proud of myself. I'm making good work, and let's keep going. I, of course, was more productive than I have been in a while, and I knew that would happen because if you're not getting stuck scrolling on your phone, you're going to be more productive. But I felt more so like I was choosing what to do during my workday. I was making the most of the time I had the babysitter, and everything else could wait. All right, so we have our 3 p.m. update. I had to go on my phone to set up my calendar for the next 6 weeks with the babysitter, but then I put it away. I had to call my husband because I saw a text from a friend saying, "Are we still doing dinner tonight?" Which I totally forgot about. So I had to arrange that. And then I went down and did my workout. So I am just checking off everything on the list. I used a TV in the basement to watch a YouTube video while I did my workout. I used my phone, obviously, to use the workout app to track it. And then, because I am part of a 6-week fitness challenge, I had to record, well, I didn't have to, but I recorded some of the workouts, made a quick video, put it up on Instagram in Reels, because to be eligible for the prize, you have to be active on social media and post in the workout community group. So I did have to do that, but I'm very proud of myself because I put the pictures together quickly, put it on Instagram, tagged the coach, put it in the community, and now my phone is down and off. I am back on my computer for a few minutes trying to finish up this video, and then I'm going to play with the kids, and then it will be time to go out to dinner. So far, it's been a great day. I literally am getting so much done, and I think part of that is I am not scrolling on my phone at all. So in a moment, I'm going to get into my end of the day clip, and I'm going to pull up my actual screen time and tell you what I spent on everything. And I just want to give the disclaimer again that this was about intention for me. It was not specifically about numbers. It wasn't about hitting 0 minutes on apps, but it was about cutting back on everything because I wanted to look at the numbers for the day and see that I had intentionally pulled up each of those things. So let's go check in with Bedtime K. Okay, friends, final update. But I am in bed. It is, what time is it? 10:12. I'm going to read my Kindle and go to sleep. I think I had a pretty good day. I did end up going out to dinner with that friend. I used my phone to navigate there. I can't do that without it. And then when I got home, I did bedtime with my son, and normally while he falls asleep, I listen to YouTube or something, but instead I listened to him talk to me for 25 minutes, and then he settled down to sleep, and I came up, had another text from my friend, and I had to do my evening client check-ins. And so I would say overall today, actually, we can look. Say overall today, I used my phone for its phone purposes rather than entertainment and doom scrolling and comparison traps. So let's see. I used it for 5 hours and 45 minutes, which doesn't seem that bad. I used my GPS for an hour. I used my workout app for an hour. I did use my text messages for 27 minutes, which for some reason everyone wanted to be in contact with me today, and I'm not sure why, but I used Google Meet for 21 minutes, my camera for 8 minutes, Instagram was only 7 minutes to put together that reel, post it to my stories. And my email for 4 minutes because I answered one of the emails on my phone that was on my to-do list. My phone for 2 minutes because I called my husband. And Fitbit ran in the background for 2 minutes. So that's not bad. See? I don't know if you trust me. Who am I? A stranger on the internet? But overall, that is not bad. The week before Christmas, I was averaging between 8 and 7 hours a day. Anyways, I feel good. I feel better today because there were multiple times that I picked up my phone and I wanted to scroll, or I felt like I just needed to check an app because I was picking up my phone to answer a text message. And overall, I'm really proud of myself for a non-weekend, for a work day, for what I did. So as I said, there were only 7 minutes on Instagram to post my workout. And I'm very proud of that because I could have gotten lost in the reels or the stories when I was posting. But instead I made it, posted it, shared it to my stories, and I put it away. I expected that number to be bigger than 7, and I'm really happy that it was only 7. The other one, 26 minutes of texting. I feel like for a 24-hour time frame, that's kind of amazing. I feel like that's nothing, especially because I had to check in with that friend who reminded me about dinner. And I had to check in with my husband when he was headed home from work. And I had those morning texts from all the people, like I mentioned, that for some reason needed to talk to me this day, because that is not typically what my phone looks like in the morning. I also, of course, had my GPS and my workout. And so that was 2 hours of my overall time spent on my phone. I feel like for 24 hours, the total was not bad. As I said, it wasn't technically about the numbers, but these numbers are great to have. I love that our phones can give us this information because I can use this as a barometer for how I'm doing in a week. And if I'm aiming to be more intentional with my whole life, I can come back now and look at this day where I detoxed for 24 hours as opposed to a typical day where I'm not being intentional. And I can see the difference between the days and what my average looks like compared to what this day looked like. And I think in the future, that's going to be really helpful to have for me. So I am glad that I did a little numbers recap. But while the numbers are fun to look at, what actually changed? Well, my brain had fewer tabs open. I wasn't reacting to every notification. I wasn't being told what to care about next. I wasn't reading a news article that then led me to 4 other news articles. I wasn't opening an email that then led me to reading through shopping emails that then would lead me to a discount code that would put me onto a shopping website where I don't need to spend money. I was making a conscious choice about what I was doing with every pocket of time in my day. And that is truly what felt different for me. I felt calmer, clearer, less fragmented. I also want to say something important. I don't think phones are evil. I think what we do with them can be evil. I think that we spend too much time on them, but I don't think inherently they are bad, because I am of the opinion that they have evolved so much to be such integral parts of our lives because we use so many aspects of it. I use the camera to take pictures of my kids. I use a calculator frequently. I use a workout app on there. I use my GPS so I can go to a new restaurant for dinner with a friend. They have become helpful in so many areas of our life. You know what? My earrings keep falling out, so I just took them out. But our phones have become helpful. They are utilitarian, and sometimes they are entertaining. I love being able to put on Spotify when I'm in the car. That's amazing for my kids to listen to an audiobook. We were listening to Winnie the Pooh yesterday. I have to use them for work. How amazing that I can do a video call on my phone with someone who's in England. I can do that. Yes, I can use my computer, but I'm not always by my computer when it's his call time. This is why it wasn't about throwing my phone away, because I do use my phone. I just want to make sure that when I'm picking it up, I'm using it with intention. I want to remove the entertainment layer, so I'm not picking it up also for that. I would much rather put it down and pick up my Kindle before bed. I would much rather put it down and pick up a paperback book. Truly, I have so many on my shelves that I need to read. I would rather turn music on the speakers so that the music floods the whole house instead of playing from a tinny speaker on my phone. It just becomes so fast and easy and effortless to do everything on our phones. And that was truly what I was trying to differentiate from during this detox. I want to give myself the space to put my phone down and say, I don't need it right now. I don't have to do anything right now. I don't have a client call. I'm not taking pictures of my kids. I'm not calculating something. I'm not going shopping for something. Put it down. And then what hobby can I pick up in my life? I have truly been at a place where I feel like I have so many hobbies that I love and I haven't been getting to them, but I have been spending a lot of time on my phone. So it was time to shift that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that it was a super easy day, because I did feel the pull. I had to resist the pull. I had moments where I thought about a package and I wanted to go track it. I had moments where I heard texts coming in and I ignored them. There was that moment where I pulled out my phone because I heard a text come in and it turned out to be my friend. So what I wanted to focus on was I noticed how much I was instinctively reaching for it, and the awareness is what matters. Because now going forward, I've been doing this about once a week for the past 4 or so weeks. And this has been so helpful in just keeping me on top of, am I picking up my phone because I want to be entertained? Or am I picking up my phone because I need something in this moment? And I would rather notice why I'm picking up my phone than tell myself that I have to entirely throw my phone away. If you're already in this overwhelmed, overstimulated, burnout type of place, then your nervous system is constantly reacting to everything around you. So the 24-hour phone detox wasn't about discipline and doesn't have to be. It was about giving my brain a reset. One intentional 24 hours in a 30-day span is a small shift. And that's why this is part of my small shift series, because this is something that I truly believe anyone can do. I think it is small enough to reset your brain for one day to set yourself up for the rest of the month. And if 24 hours feels too extreme, just start with something small. 12 hours, maybe the first 4 hours of your morning. Can you detox from your phone for a small amount of hours just to lessen the mental load? The end goal is not to use our phones less. That will just happen as a byproduct. The true goal is to use our phones on purpose. And if your brain or your life is feeling cluttered, this might be one of the simplest ways to remove some of that clutter without overhauling your entire life. If this resonated with you, I encourage you to drop a comment down below if you are going to try to detox from your phone for a little bit. Because I truly believe that it is a small shift that can help you on your path to living a softer season where you're not as overstimulated and overwhelmed. Do you remember back in the day when we used to freak out maybe it's just me and I'm too old, but we would freak out if we hit the web search button on our phones by accident, because then our dad would be billed per minute that we went online. Sometimes I wish I could go back to that. What if you just panicked every time you opened Google and you were worried about how much it would cost? We were just texting the neighborhood kids to see if they would meet us for a manhunt, and we didn't have to worry about being sucked into this web of mindless scrolling. And I'm working on getting back to that place as I am in my soft season. So thank you for being here today and hearing all about my 24-hour phone detox, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.